this down just a little bit more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Girl. You need some help? There you go. And breastplate.
The
breastplate.
breastplate first.
And then the yod. Doing great. Let's just take it easy, not rush. Okay. Andrew, now you're going to pass hands to Shane.
Where's he stand first?
Well, you're going to need some help.
And then just lean it over on
On
his
your
shoulder. Yeah.
Be careful with the ceiling. And now, Shane, you place it back in its place. And Andrew, make sure that it doesn't get scratched up on the top,
On the wall.
on the wall. Oh, I'm sorry, Rabbi. Help him guide it. There you go. I think it needs to come up. The legs need to come towards the back a little bit more.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
How's that?
Okay? You keep it, and then you keep this unveiled until we're done with the prayer.
Okay, just making sure.
Looks like it gets steady.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Next blessing, please.
Bless you.
And y'all face towards the Torah. It's Chayim Lamachazim Kimba V'tomeha Meushar Derachecha Darkeno Am V'kol Netivotecha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. It is a tree of life to those who take hold of it, and those who support of it are praiseworthy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Bring us back, Lord, to you, and we shall come. Renew our days as of old.
Amen.
Okay? And then you gentlemen will, go ahead and put the cover back on.
Thank you.
There you go. Just drape it over. Then you have to pull the Torah a little bit forward so it'll catch in the back. Mm-hmm.
Drape a little bit more over the top.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And then pull up a little on the base of it so it'll come up on the table.
Mm-hmm. You're doing great. You're doing good. Okay. That looks good. And then you'll need, you're right.
Pull the base up just a little more of the cloth
Oh, the cloth?
onto
Of
the
it?
base of the table.
Oh, yes. Lift that up and just let it drape it. Uh-huh. Yeah.
There you go.
Good. And you grab your seat once you're done with that. Oh, it won't stay. And then grab your seat, touch it to your mouth, to the Torah, and then back to your mouth. To your lips, excuse me. Yes, you too. Mm-hmm. Very good. Y'all may be seated. Thank you, guys. Good job. his water, please go over
Oh,
there.
yeah, right there.
All right. You may be seated. How many of you know there's a big difference between listening and doing?
Yes.
Y'all know that?
Yeah.
Verse 1 of 32, chapter 32 starts off Haazinu. So the part of the front of this that I'm lighting up here, that is I. Nope, it's not I. Excuse me, mistake. Haazinu means, Hazi means an ear. There we go. Hazi means near. Ha makes it a causative action, and nu on the end indicates a plural audience that he's speaking to, because it's giving ear, give your ear, okay? And who is he speaking to?
People.
No, he's speaking to the heavens.
Oh, yeah.
Hashamayim,
Yeah.
the heavens. And then he says, this is the word I here, right? Right here. That's I. The I in front of Deber. Diber ra. So that means, and I will speak. And then it says, Tish Shema. Everybody knows the word Shema.
Yep.
From the instructions that God gave to say the Shema over children of Israel. Shema means listen, hear, and obey. And hear, O earth, and obey, O earth, the words of my mouth. God is interested in the instructions of his government, his kingdom coming to earth. And that's why this song was given to Moses, so that it could be repeated over and over and over, age to age, and we wouldn't forget what God's plan was, to bring his words, his doctrines, his judgments and statutes to the earth. Now, who is he going to be using for tools to make that happen? It's going to be the people of Israel. So he says, you're going to hear the words of my mouth. And he says, they shall drop as rain, my doctrine will, and shall distill as the dew, my speech, and as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as showers upon the grass. So this is the nature of this song, which is actually a poem that Moses gave to the people of Israel to repeat throughout their generations, so that they would not forget God's plan, that he would bring his ordinance, his laws, his Torah to the earth. Eretz. That's why it says Shema ha'eretz. Listen, earth. Hear and obey, earth. But to the heavens, he says, just Haazinu, give ear. Make your ear hear what I'm saying. Now, if you read the previous statements, let me just go up a little. Well, first of all, you remember the disciples' prayer that was called the Lord's Prayer, but it's only called the Lord's Prayer. It's not really. It says, Our Father which art in the heavens, hallowed be thy blessed name. Your kingdom is forever and ever. See, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's a statement of this first little section of the Haazinu. Listen, heavens. See, he's already got his law there in the heavens, and it's operating in perfect harmony in the heavens. So give ear, O heavens, to my words. And then he says, Shema, earth. In other words, it's your responsibility to bring forth those things that you are hearing and obey them. And so it's a clear statement of what's already is. In the heavenlies, God's word is already enforced, and it is approved, and everybody is obeying it in the heavenlies. But in the earth, we're yet to bring that manifestation here into this earth. And that's why he says, Shema haaretz. Is that good? Okay. Now, I'm going to get back over to my to my English Bible. And he says, okay, hear, O heavens, as I speak. Listen and obey, earth, to the words from my mouth. May my teachings fall like rain. And remember, this is Moses speaking. And he's speaking to a people that he knows are going to walk away from these teachings. Now, he's been told, because of his letting God down in the prophecy that he gave of striking the rock twice. The rock was only supposed to be struck once. And so he's been denied the right to enter into the promised land. But he faults the people of Israel because they put so much pressure on him to provide them water, and it made him so upset that he blew his actions and didn't obey exactly as God had told him. And that's the reason why he's denied entrance to the promised land. Something that he had been working most of his life to do. All the way from his early years, he was feeding sheep out on his father-in-law's property when he killed that Egyptian guard, and then he ran away and hid in the wilderness. He was feeding his father-in-law's sheep, which he married the daughter of a regal, a Cohen of the gods, plural. So he was a polytheist, and he was ministering for the people in his area. Of course, Moses was not very happy about not being allowed to come in. He talked to God repeatedly until God finally said, "Okay, Moses, I heard you, now shut up. Don't talk any more of this matter." And so God was getting a little tired of him ranting on him for not letting him come in. But Moses he felt that the people of Israel caused that mess up. And he was not very happy with them for it. If you read on down, come on. You foolish people, so lacking in wisdom, this is how you repay Yahweh. He is your Father who made you his. It was he who formed you and prepared you. Remember how the days of old were. Think of the years through all the ages. Ask your fathers, he will tell you, and your leaders too. They will inform you when Elyon gave each nation. Where did I go here? There it is, verse 8. When Elyon gave each nation its heritage and he divided the human race, he assigned the boundaries of peoples according to Israel's population. But Adonai's share was his own people. Yaakov was his allotted heritage. He found his people in the desert country and in a howling, wasted wilderness. He protected them and cared for them and guarded them. And then if you keep on going, it says Adonai led his people. No alien God was with him. I want to keep on going because it's down here close to the end of this psalm that I want you to see.
Perverse generation, untrustworthy children. They are aroused by jealousy.
Yeah, but
With their vanities.
we keep going. Just a minute. Let me keep going here. They are a nation without common sense, utterly lacking in discernment. If they were wise, they could figure it out and understand their destiny. After all, how can one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to rout unless their rock sells them to their enemies, unless Yahweh hands them over? For our enemies have no rock like our rock. Even they can see that.
It's all the rock.
Mm-hmm. Coming on down. I didn't see the one I was looking for here. Place where he says, and I know that in the end you are going to turn away from your God. That's the phrase I'm looking for.
I think you have to keep going.
Maybe. I don't see it right now, but I read it in just a little bit, just a while ago.
31 down to 27 says, for I know your rebellion and stubbornness, behold, I am.
That's it.
Okay.
Verse 31.
31, verse 27.
Where'd you see that?
31, chapter 31, Deuteronomy 31.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going up till I get to it.
27, there you go. Because I know that
Yeah,
after
a
my
little bit
death,
more.
you will become. Yep.
He says, assemble for me all the leaders of your tribes and your officials so that I can say these things in their hearing, calling heaven and earth to witness against them. Because I know that after my death, you will become very corrupt and turn aside from the way that I have ordered you. And that disaster will come upon you in the Acharit HaYamim in the later days, because you will do what Yahweh sees as evil and provoke him by your deeds. Then Moses spoke in the hearing of the whole assembly of Israel the words of this song from the beginning to the end. And that's the basis for and the reason for this song. And Moses said at the very beginning of the book of Deuteronomy that he was concerned that the people would continue to obey him after he is gone. That what would they do when they get into the land? Would they turn and rebel against Yahweh? And he was very concerned about that. And so he took it upon himself to bring the direction and refresher that he was giving the people of Israel of all the things that happened and preparing them to go into the promised land. So the parable then, or the poem, if you will, of this song of Moses talks about all the things that Moses is concerned about regarding the people of Israel. Notice verse 4, he is perfect. The rock is perfect, for all his ways are just. A trustworthy God who does no wrong. He is righteous and straight. He is not corrupt. The defect is in his children, and a crooked and perverse generation. You foolish people, so lacking in wisdom, is this how you repay Yahweh? So anyway, he's just reiterating all the things that he's told them already, that they're not going to be holding on to his words. These words, I'm setting before you today life and death. And if you're slow, choose life, not death. So here he is about to have to go up and die without having crossed over the Jordan. He's not happy, not a happy camper. But Yeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat, thick, gross. He abandoned God, his maker, and scorned the rock of his salvation. They aroused him to jealousy with alien gods and provoked him with abominations. They sacrificed to demons, non-gods, gods that they had never known. They knew gods that had come up lately, which your ancestors had never feared. You ignored the rock who fathered you. You forgot God who gave you birth. Adonai saw and was filled with scorn at his daughters and his sons' provocation. He said, I will hide my face from them and see what will become of them. For they are a perverse generation, untrustworthy children. They arouse my jealousy with a non-God and provoke me with their vanities, and I will arouse their jealousy with a non-people. What does that mean, a non-people?
The Gentiles.
Gentiles that were not a nation, but were a mixture of nations. Well, that's what we are here in America too, right?
Yep.
And he says, will provoke them with a vile nation, for my anger has been fired up. It burns to the depths of Sheol, the grave, devouring the earth and its crops, kindling the very roots of the hills. I will heap disasters on them and use up all my arrows against them. Fatigue and hunger, they will be consumed by fever and bitter defeat. I will send them the fangs of wild beasts and poison of reptiles crawling in the dust. Outside, the sword makes parents childless. Inside, there is panic, and the young men and girls alike are slain, sucklings and graybeards together. I consider putting an end to them, erasing their memory from the human race. But I feared the insolence of their enemies, feared their foes would mistakenly think we ourselves accomplished this. The enemies. Adonai had nothing to do with it, you see. They were wanting to he's claiming that they're going to claim the victory for defeating Israel. Yeah. And they have tried to.
Yeah.
Verse 28, they are a nation without common sense, utterly lacking in discernment. If they were wise, they could figure it all out. After all, how can one chase 1,000 to put 10,000 to right unless their God sells them to their enemies? Our enemies have no rock like our rock. Even they can see that. Vengeance and payback are mine for the time when their foot slips, for the day their calamity is coming soon. Their doom is rushing upon them. Yes, Adonai will judge his people, taking pity on his servants when he sees that their strength is gone, that no one is left, slave or free. Then he will ask, where are their gods, the rock in whom they trusted, who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let him get up and help you. Let him protect you. See now yes, I am he, and there is no God besides me. I put to death, I make alive, I wound and I heal. No one saves anyone from my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and swear, as surely as I am alive forever, if I sharpen my fleshing sword and set my hand to judgment, I will render vengeance to my foes and repay those who hate me. Oy. I will make my arrows drunk with blood. My sword will devour flesh, the blood of the slain and the captives, flesh from the wild-haired heads of the enemy. Sing out, you nations, about his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants. He will render vengeance to his adversaries and make atonement for the land of his people. Strong words. Moses came and proclaimed all the words of the song in the hearing of the people of Hoshea the son of Nun. And when he had finished speaking all these words to Israel, he said to them, take to heart all the words of my testimony against you today, so that you can use them in charging your children to be careful to obey all the words of this Torah. For it is not a trivial matter for you. On the contrary, it is your life. Though you will live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. And the same day, Adonai said to Moses, go up to Avrim range, to Mount Nevo, to the land of Moab, across the Jericho, and look out over the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel as a possession. On the mountain, you are ascending, you will die and be gathered to your people, just as Aaron your brother died on Mount Hor, and was taken and gathered to his people. The reason for this is that both of you broke faith with me there among the people of Israel at Mirvat Kadesh Spring, and in Sin Desert you failed to demonstrate my holiness there among the people of Israel. So you will see the land from a distance, but you will not enter the land I'm giving to the people of Israel. Okay, so then I think this is the next to the last chapter.
Second one now.
34 is the last chapter, I think. Yeah. Yep. So that will be done at the end of Sukkot. Okay, well, I think we've covered it. What are we supposed to do when things turn against us and we get apparently kicked out of our land that God has provided us?
Complain, whine.
I don't think that's
It's
a very
about it.
good idea. What are we supposed to do when we find ourselves kicked out of the land that God has given us?
Walk in faith.
You got kicked out.
We need to go back and look at the words of Moses and see what we're failing to do.
Yeah.
Because Moses told us that you'll live long in that land if you obey the words of this Torah. So we have to go and examine ourselves, just like we're going to be doing here during the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We should be examining our lives to see what have we done wrong.
Yes.
And so we need to know that we are God's children, that it's Him that gave us birth, and that if we want to stay alive in this land, we're going to have to be obedient to His Torah. So that's what we will be doing as we move along from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur.
Hashem.
What do we do after Yom Kippur?
We get ready for Sukkot.
We build a sukkah.
We build a sukkah.
So we've got 4 days to get our sukkah built before the Feast of Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacles. All right, well, let's go ahead and have our closing ceremony, and we'll call that good for today. Hmm?
I thought it was too early, that's why.
Nah, it's a little early, but it's not bad.
No, usually we're running over. Oh, excuse me.
I think my body has been weakened somewhat by allergies. But praise God, He's still God.
Amen.
Amen.
Oh, is it time to quit?
It's funny, Rabbi.
There we go.
Here you go. Oh, thanks.
Well, we'll do the Aaronic benediction. Bring that up first.
ready for you.
Yevarech Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Amen.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
Amen.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Amen.
The Lord bless and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Amen.
Amen.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Amen. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu al netilat yadayim.
Amen.
Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us by your commandments and commanded us concerning the washing of our hands.
Amen. All right.
Oh, yeah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth.
Amen.
Amen. Well, you have something to look forward to.
Uh-huh.
After the days of Sukkot, we will begin our Torah classes again,
Yay.
and that'll be on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And then we've got some other classes that we want to teach, and we'll see how things get set up for doing that.
Sure.
And I may even start creating some classes here at the house
Uh-huh.
without even broadcasting it,
Mm-hmm.
and put that out in the yeshiva for our students online to study.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of things going on, and just pray that God will guide us and show us what he wants us to do.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. So we shall see you again next Erev on Shabbat. Erev Shabbat, that's Friday evening.
And that will be Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur. So we shall see you again, and be delighted in the Lord always, and hold steadfast to his ways and his righteousness, his truth.
And we will have a broadcast. I don't know if it'll be able to go live or not on Yom Kippur, but we will get it uploaded as soon as possible after the service, if we're not able to make it go live. Okay?
Yes. All
We're
right.
still working very hard on that, by the way.
Yes, we are. And we're actually gaining a little progress today. So.
Was it online live today?
It's online. It's
well,
online.
praise
But
God, yeah.
The quality of the video is not there, but at least they've got audio.
Mm-hmm.
The audio is not degraded at all.
So we will upload the full video in a higher quality as soon as the programming gets rendered
Right.
and then uploaded. So hopefully that'll be this evening, but I can't make any guarantees on it until we see how it goes.
Yeah. Amen.
It's been taking us like 2 days to get the thing uploaded after we get it rendered because of the problems we've been having. So
Yes.
just pray that we'll get a good internet connection here before long.
Yes. Amen. Shalom,
Havarim,
Havarim,
shalom,
Havarim,
Havarim,
Shalom,
shalom.
Shalom, Lahitrayot,
Lahitrayot,
Lahitrayot, Shalom, Shalom,
Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, shalom. Till we meet again, till we meet again, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
Hey,
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Baruch Hashem.